Greetings, Commanders! Welcome to Kerrash Landing, your weekly dose of Elite Dangerous. Joining me tonight is Alien. How you doing, Alien?
Oh, I'm okay.
Good. Yes, I do apologise for not having anyone with me last stream, and I'm sorry for Alien. We couldn't get you on because the networking issues, terrible networking issues. But we think they have been solved. We hope. Anyway, as you might be aware, there is Alpha 3.2 has just been released. Yay! Fun. Can't wait to get in. And Alien and I were just reviewing the changelog. There's quite a few changes in there, isn't there, Alien?
Yep.
There's some interesting things. They've been doing a lot of balancing, tweaking, and fixing for the networking issues that we've all been seeing. But one thing I should probably mention, actually, as the people who are just coming onto stream now, you'll see this in a second, Alien. I have a Cobra. Oh yes, and it's nice. I like the Cobra. It's very nice. No, it's fantastic actually. Just you see that the different kind of view. You've got the co-pilot seat to your right, and it is kind of, you are still off center, because I know there was people were showing the concept art and they were trying to figure out, it's like, oh, the seat seems off center. How's that going to work? But what they've done is the HUD for the pilot is kind of up into the left, so it's all central from your point of view, as you can see on the screen now. But yeah, you are still off to the left in terms of the position of the craft. Hasn't really affected the way I fly. It's still, docking, you can still line yourself up quite nicely. So yeah, that seems to be quite nice. So I think I will. I'll try anyway. Let's see if we can get over to Zalada Station. Excellent. See if we can get. I love the sound of this hyperdrive warming up.
You owe Simon a change of underwear, by the way.
Oh, crikey! What did I do?
He says, I was sat here in silence, and then Kerrash goes, greetings! I need to change my underwear now.
Yes, I'm sorry. My completely obnoxious, over-enthusiastic greeting. I'm sorry for that. It's just something I've done since LaveCon last year. I just kind of can't help myself. Loading. Just wait for these loading. Hopefully, it's not too crowded at the station. I have found that early in the evening, lots of people get on there, and it gets really busy, very busy. Fingers crossed. I can hear traffic. That's a good sign. Normally if you get into an instance and you can hear, well, it's still loading, you can hear ships flying around. That's a good sign. Fingers crossed. Bum, 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 bum.
I think it was Drew Wago commented on the forums that the station announcements reminds him of the airport announcements in Airplane. Bay 9 is for loading and unloading only. There is no loading and unloading in Bay 8. Bay 8 is for loading and unloading only. There is no loading and unloading in Bay 9.
Yeah, it is a bit, isn't it? It's funny
you have
though.
to watch. If you haven't watched, anyone watching the stream, if you haven't watched Airplane the movie, it's a comedy film. When Kerrash has finished streaming tonight, find Airplane and watch it.
Go watch
it is funny. It is a classic.
Hilarious. And speaking of the, and then we've got the Cobra here with the extra passenger seat. We could do with an autopilot. Yeah, again, if you've seen Airplane, you'll get that reference. Oh, dear, I do like that. Like the way he winks
And
at
you've
the
got
end.
the door in the back for someone to open it and go. I can't remember what Leslie Nielsen's line was.
I can't. I can't
I
remember.
know what he said, but he's like, I can't remember the line exactly how he said it.
Yeah. I do like the other. What was the other part? Surely you can't be serious. I am, and don't call me Shirley.
Oh, so many jokes in that.
Brilliant film. Bewilderbeast, how is the patch working? It was working fine until I just crashed it. Yeah, no, it's they have improved some things with the network and everything, so I'm hoping things go better tonight. Space station crashes tons, Petra is saying there, but the other scenarios are more stable. Okay, then we'll stay in the other scenarios then. We won't bother going to the station just yet.
I know it's like a shiny new toy syndrome with having the station there and you can dock at the station, But really, you shouldn't be going to the station unless you need to.
Yeah, yeah, that is true, and I know what you mean. I just kind of keep wanting to go back there just to oogle at it because it's so shiny.
Yeah,
It's so
I
shiny.
know, and I'm
I
the
know.
same. I'm not any different.
It's so
Shiny new toy
nice.
syndrome.
But just think when when the game is released and this button at the top of this menu here with Galaxy Map grayed out, which I just noticed last night. I thought, how much of a tease is that? Hopefully,
Um,
when we can click that, then.
we've got airplane jokes in the chat, by the way. Oh, you've just seen the
Oh,
chat.
it's on Netflix. Excellent. I've got Netflix, so I'm so watching that later on. Ah, there we go. So let's go to the combat bond, what was once known as the impeccable defense scenario. We'll go there. I just like.
Petrisk says, with regards to people docking at the station, Petrisk says people just want a Cobra. Yes, and if you've got the money to buy the Cobra, fair enough. Go to the station, dock, buy your Cobra, do whatever else you're going to do, and
Shoot off again.
leave. If you don't need to go to the station, don't go to the station.
Yeah, yeah. It's a little crowded at the moment, but yeah. But when the game's released, just think of how many space stations are. We're gonna have one each.
Yes.
There'd be thousands.
I will be honest. I'm waiting for the next phase, the travelling and trading.
Oh no! Oh, I can't wait! I can't wait. Oh. Right, where are we? Let's see if we can find us. See, I've got a pretty basic loadout at the moment. I haven't got a particularly wow kitted out Cobra. There's lots of other people out there that have got very, very good Cobras. But I should formally thank Commander Alphabacker 58005 for the very generous 18,000 credit donation he made when he sat in front of me with his Cobra and I blew him up and got his bounty. So thank you.
You
That
must have been going around killing everyone.
I don't know. I think it was a case of being in the right place at the right time, and I come along and I thought, oh, that's a nice bounty. Can't ignore that. Even though I was sat in my little sidewinder, I thought I'm going to take a pop at you, and cha-ching! 30 seconds later, I was hyperspacing off to the station to buy myself a nice little Cobra. But,
Simon says, have you seen the commander with the anaconda yet?
Oh.
Petrisk says, I've seen the video. Simon says, I don't know how he got it, but the boy can't fly it. Petrisk is saying, he hacked it. Frontier Developments is informed.
Yes,
It
yes.
also has unfinished cockpit.
Yes, naughty,
I
naughty.
don't think it's for us to say that he hacked the game or not.
Yeah, it's naughty,
It's
naughty
Frontier's-
commander.
Frontier's-
Sorry,
Yeah,
go
it's
on.
Frontier's thing to say whether someone's hacked the game that they shouldn't be doing.
If you're experimenting, what's the what's the harm, so to speak? But no, I think it's definitely not a dev. People have been saying, oh, it's a dev. It's not a dev. It is a commander, a human commander, and I know of ways he may have been able to achieve that, and I also know reasons why he can't fly it for toffee. Is because obviously with the unfinished cockpit, which obviously it's probably got the kind of sidewinder cockpit misaligned to the model of the Anaconda, which means he probably can't see his size or shape or whether he's going to fit into the docking bay or anything. So yeah. Naughty, naughty. But thanks for testing that exploit. Frontier have been informed, and you won't be able to do it on the release, so thank you. That's what it's all about, really, alpha testing. You can't really have a go at anyone for messing around at this stage. We have got lots of commanders in this scenario. I might have to jump to another scenario.
I will say, though, things like hacking the alpha to get yourself the Anaconda, I'm sorry, but that is cheating.
Yeah, and it's a waste of time because it's going to be reset. You're going to have to you're going to have to earn that ship at the end of the day anyway. So
I mean, I know when the full game comes around, we'll be able to buy an Anaconda. So yeah, all right, in a way, that's not really cheating. But as it stands at the minute, you technically shouldn't be able to get the Anaconda. So
yeah, it's kind of broken. I mean, if you find a way of doing it and it's you shouldn't be able to do it, then definitely go tell Frontier the steps so they can lock it down to prevent anyone else screwing it in the future. That's my things. I've seen things in the files, ways and means of doing things, and I've reported them all as potential issues. Because the bug tracking system, I have put a couple of things up which weren't necessarily bugs, but workarounds and things that I found, and I've reported it all to Frontier, and they were grateful for everything I put up on there. So
Yeah.
yeah, definitely anything like that. I think I think it was it Alpha 1 or 2, I found a way of removing the scenario limitation, so you could fly all the way to the planet. I never actually disclosed that to anyone other than Frontier.
Oh, Simon's saying you say naughty, naughty like the start of the Ebenezer Good song. Naughty, naughty.
Very naughty. oh.
Oh, we've got Psycho Cow with us.
Cow! Greetings, Cow!
Psycho Cow says, what song's that, Simon? He's just told you. It's called Ebenezer Good. Look it up.
Ah, dear. Although, what were we talking about?
Very controversial song in the 90s, Ebenezer Good. I'm not going to go into why, and I don't think we should if you know why, Crash, but yeah, it was a very controversial song.
Do you know, I was listening, I run out of CDs in my car, and I was digging around, and I found some, like, hits of, like, the early 2000s or something like that. Oh, I thought I'd throw that on, and it was remixes of 90s tracks, and I'm surprised at how many songs I used to listen to in my childhood which were basically about either getting laid or wasted, which is kind of scary. And I was just too innocent and naive to even know what any of that meant when I was listening back then. But there you go. Oh, boom, 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 boom. Boom, boom. Do you know what? I think I need to set that up on an alternate fire group and secondary. Oh. Lost my laser. Oh, I like this. See, oh, carry on.
I was going to say my ticket for the HUD displaying the primary and secondary weapons. Mm-hmm. Apparently, from what when they closed the ticket, the comment they made is they're not going to change how it is. It's right.
Oh, right. Okay. So is it intended to be
even though if you swap the guns over, the guns themselves physically don't move, but the HUD for the primary secondary switches over. So you then end up with the info on the wrong sides for the two weapons.
Okay.
But hey, if that's how Frontier want it, who am I to argue?
Okay. No, I know what you mean though, because I've done it myself, and it is. I didn't even notice it until you said it. I was like, oh yeah, it's kind of backwards, isn't it? It's like, yeah. But it's kind of like, I mean, it's like the first time I played Skyrim, I think it was, and I had the you could have like left and right hand for weapons, and they've got, of course, the default action is your right hand, but it's the left mouse button because that's how it is in other games. But it was counterintuitive. I was looking at that, I was thinking, well, hang on a second, I got a left arm and a right arm. I want to use the left button and the right button respectively, not that one, because that's what we've always used, that one for your main arm, and your main arm's always been your right arm. So I was like, what? Totally backwards. And
Psycho Cow says, hello alien, how are you? Forget that, Kerrash. They're talking about ordering the second dev kit.
Oh, I know.
Oculus.
I saw it, and I got, because I was on the mailing list, I got the information like straight away on my phone. I was like, no, it's like, I really want. It's like, don't tempt me. But yeah, I'm still at two minds of whether or not I should get it. Because I've still got the dev kit 1. It is a significant upgrade. I would love to have it, but quite honestly, I think it would probably be better off if I just wait and make the jump to the consumer version.
Yeah.
What
do you think of Sony's VR headset?
Look very good, actually. The hardware seems sound. They definitely seem to have made strides in it, but I'd want to try one first before I made any other judgment, because I must admit I saw their HMZ something, one of their earlier ones. This was before the Rift, and it wasn't good. I must admit it wasn't good. So that's my worry with Sony, is they don't really understand VR as well as people like Oculus do. So I don't know whether they're going to get it right. Fingers crossed they do. I mean, it's always good to have competition in the field, and hopefully it'll
Yeah.
improve things for everyone. But yeah, I kind of play a wait and see approach for anyone else jumping on the bandwagon, so to speak, and saying, "Hey, yeah, we can do VR too. Look at us." It's like, yeah, the Oculus I got to try before I bought it, so I knew what I was getting. But with anyone else, I think I'll wait until I cast judgment on it.
What worries me with Sony's VR headset is it will only work on Sony products like the PlayStation 4. You
Yeah.
wouldn't be able to use it on a PC.
Yeah, and that's bits of hardware. It starts turning into a bit of a nightmare. Then it's like, yes, there's no standardization, and it just turns into such a nightmare. It's that's why I kind of thought, well, go for Oculus. Oculus, they don't have any. They don't have any tie-ins. They haven't got anyone, telling them that, oh yeah, you need to make it specifically for Windows machines or anything like that. So, which, by the way, if anyone is interested, there are actually Linux demos and things like that. It's there's no reason why it couldn't work on other machines. So that's the great thing about it. It's not tied into a specific manufacturer or vendor.
Bewildered Beast says Sony have been doing VR for a long time. They've just been doing it badly. The new hardware has been getting great reviews.
Yeah, fingers crossed. I hope it is better actually, because I've played with some. I think it was a company called Vuzix. I went to a trade show and tried out some of their latest ones, and I was thoroughly disappointed by them. I must admit, they were not very good at all. A lot of people were talking about them and say, oh yeah, they're really really good and all that, and they did have some good reviews on them, but they weren't great. So, like I said, I'm gonna keep stum for now.
Psycho Cow loves your wall art.
My wall art, yes. Let me zoom in whilst we're hyperspacing. So I've got my this in the corner. I am thoroughly chuffed about here. I got this. Can't really see it. It doesn't show up very well on the stream. But my bestie, for my birthday last week, he drew me the Elite Dangerous logo. Hand drew it. He stayed up until God knows what time in the morning doing it, and it's fantastic. I'm really chuffed with that. Very, very grateful. And not only that, but as we're on the subject, as we're talking about it, I will show you, he also got me this, which is the NES version of Elite. But wait, there is more. He also managed to find me an NES to play it on.
Wow.
That is incredibly generous, and I'm really so thank you, Alpha Ruts. Thank you, very very kind of you. Best birthday present ever. Those things. Commander Flossie has joined us. Greetings, Commander. I haven't seen Flossie in a while. How you doing, Flossie? Let's see if we've got some other players in here. Let's see what's going on. Someone in a sidewinder there. Oh, firing his laser. Are you being a naughty little commander? Let's have a check. Who are you? Commander Nothing. Commander No Name. With no bounty. Be this Hacks? Potentially. If he's got no bounty, I don't really want to attack him because...
You're saying he's got no name? Is he not even Alpha Backer number...
No, it's Commander Big Blank Space on the left-hand panel.
Ooh.
Yeah, that is a weird one. But anyway, busted. I'm capturing all my network logs anyway, so I can always send that on to Frontier. He's got dual lasers, and he's attacking one of the NPCs.
We still have the close-up of you in the middle of the splash screen, by the way.
Damn. Damn, there we go.
Dum 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 dum.
There we go. There he is. Commander No Name. We'll lock on to Commander No Name, and I'm gonna follow you. Don't know who you are. It may be a glitch. It may be a glitch. I've got to give you the benefit of the doubt.
Yes.
But whoa! I'll just fly my gigantic Cobra. I do love the sound of the Cobra. Actually, I don't know if it comes across well enough in the stream, but it's got a real kind of clanky, sort of cluttery roar. Like, it does sound like a bigger, older ship. You know what I mean? It's fantastic. They got that nice little you hear it creaking and grinding a little bit when it gets up to full speed. It's really, really nice. Just over 400 meters per second on full whack there. Oh, she turns quite well for a big ship as well. I'm quite chuffed. Do like the Cobra. Although I do want to earn it properly in the game. I know I'll be able to start at various starting points with the Cobra, but I want to start at the base. I want to have the smallest ship, and I want to earn that Cobra.
Ide is saying he also saw Commander No Name earlier today.
Oh, it might just be a glitch in the new network code, perhaps.
Bewilderbeast asks, what are you using to get network logs? A TCP dump sort of thing?
I've got various things going on, but the main thing I'm using at the moment, I got a nice little utility net limiter. Not necessarily for logging. It does do some logging, but the main reason I got that on is because it allows me to shape my traffic a little bit. So that I can carry on talking to Alien. That's the problem we had. Is this unfortunately that the patch that they released for 3.0, I think it was, it absolutely saturated my upload bandwidth with reconnect attempts, and it just made it impossible to do anything. It was cutting the stream off. It was whoa, that commander was closer than I thought. I didn't see him on the radar. Yeah, it was cutting the stream off. It was affecting the Skype. I could not do anything useful, but. I don't think I've got these issues anymore, but I do have the limit on anyway, just in case. Who are you? Another Commander No Name. Or is that the same one? Ooh, a canister. Canister, where's that? Ooh, yoink, yoink. See, I'm just... that's what I'm going to play like when it's released. I'm just going to be going around scavenging anything I can find.
Ide says the Commander No Name then turned into a name eventually, he thinks.
Yes, it's probably just the network thing. It's kind of... I mean, it's probably an optimization, to be fair. It's like, yeah, we know there's a player there, but, you know, we get the name when there's some available bandwidth rather than trying to struggle to get it now. And oh, it is more difficult to scoop. Oh.
I'm going to try and catch up with the chat
Okay,
a bit, because we're getting behind with the chat.
Okay.
Mr. Jeffrey asks you, what graphics card do you use?
Ooh, I am running a GeForce 760 GTX with 2 gig at the moment, which is very nice, and it can cope well with the graphics even up on the high settings, so very good card.
Commander Jan asks, have you found out how to get the Anaconda yet?
If I did, I couldn't tell you until Frontier have patched it.
Conqueror UK asks me what's new in 3.02. I'm not sure. I will put up a link to the thread with the change
list,
log, and you can see for yourself.
Yeah, I think it's mainly just stability patches and things like that, which you tend to have that in development when you're working on things like this. You have you add features and then you add fixes and then kind of cycles. Sorry, carry on.
Ide asks, do I know if you are on the 7.9 or 5.4 server? No, I don't know what server Kerrash is on.
I can check.
Kerrash, what server are you on?
Check my network. I think I'm on 7.9 at the moment. So, not sure exactly how that works, what difference that makes. I think Frontier have got 2 servers, and I think they're just kind of like load balancing for each other. I'm not sure whether it actually makes much of a difference, whether your traffic gets sent through that or not. Hard to tell at the moment. But anyway, carry on.
I think we've pretty much caught up with the chat.
Excellent. Always good to have questions. But yeah, definitely any more questions and things people want to send through, then by all means send them through. It's always good to have questions. Oh, what is going on here?
Here's an interesting question to ask you. It's just a do you think this will happen sort of question.
Yeah.
When we're flying around in space, like you are now, do you think you'll be able to, like, come to a dead stop, get up out of your pilot's chair and walk around your ship?
I hope so. I really hope
or will
that's...
you only be able to walk around once you've landed or docked somewhere?
Yeah, I mean, I hope it literally is if you kind of just turn everything... like you can go into stealth mode and you can turn everything off. I hope you can put it in a thing where you just put it on either auto... Because we haven't seen autopilot yet, have we? We haven't seen any autopilot.
No.
Either you put it on autopilot, or like you said, you're stationary in orbit or wherever. There's no reason for you to be at the controls. You can literally just shut everything down and walk away. I hope you can do that, because it's going to be really interesting being able to go around your ship. and I think there's going to be some interesting gameplay opportunities of being able to get up and like you might not be at your ship and then suddenly you're going to attack. You're going to have to leg it back to your
Yeah.
seat, sort of thing. I think there can be some like the old red alert sirens going off and oh my god, quick get back to your seat. I think that's going to offer some interesting opportunities there. So yeah, hopefully. Hopefully, I really think that's going to be a good thing when we get out in EVA. And not only that, because it is EVA. It's supposed to be not just get out of your seat and walk around. It's going to be get out of your seat and potentially get out of your ship. So,
Yeah.
I mean, the Sidewinder does have an airlock on it. When you look at it, that internal door is not the same as the external door. So
No.
there is a passageway that is effectively could be used as an airlock.
Very thin passageway.
Yeah, it's not very much to it, but it's enough for an airlock. Why
Yeah.
not be? You could be allowed to get out and perhaps look at the outside of your ship. Maybe patch it or something. That would be an interesting little thing if you could only afford the manual patchwork toolkit so that you could repair bits from your ship outside, sort of thing like that. I think that could some interesting little gameplay opportunities out of that. But fingers crossed. I'd love to see all these little things. There's all these interesting little things that could come out.
Keep Scrolling asks, what ship are we going to see in the next? Let me say this again. What ship are we going to see next in the trading alpha? And Petrisk's guesses an Anaconda, but also a Viper.
Yeah, I would like to see the Viper actually. That was always one of my favourites in FE2. I think it's almost a dead cert for the Anaconda. I think it's the one ship that is we've seen the most of. It's obviously it's more complete than things we haven't seen. So given that it's trading in travel, you're going to want a ship which is going to be good for trading, and I imagine the Anaconda's got a lot of cargo space. So I'd say Anaconda is almost a dead cert for the next update. And maybe I would like to see a Viper. My guess would maybe be a Federal fighter because that one's already in the game. That would be an interesting one to see because it's a little bit more nippy than the Sidewinder. I'd like to give that a try. Oh, so Eid just said you can repair your hull using Fozzer's spanner.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but I ain't gonna take the spanner off him until he fixes my vending machine. I'm still waiting for that beverage. Damn. Never mind. Sloma, you want an Imperial ship? Yeah, I would like to see an Imperial ship. Maybe if we could see an Imp cutter or something like that, that would be nice. Because they do look really, really nice, actually. And most of the ships we've been seeing, I think, are all independents, aren't they? There's no... well, the Federal fighter and the Federation battleship, or capital ship, but we haven't seen any specific Imperial ships, really, have we?
No. No, we
That would
haven't.
be nice to see. The Anaconda took a week of gaming to get to, it took so long to get up and have enough credits by the Anaconda. Not as long as it did for the Panther though. Yeah, it was notoriously bad. Oh, I think we're having a there we go.
The thing
sorry.
I didn't like about the bigger
back.
ships
Sorry for
in
that.
FE2 and FFE was, alright, they carried a lot of cargo, but they were slow as heck and they couldn't jump very far.
Yeah, that was the trouble. Is you were kind of limited by your hyperspace range then. So even though you could transport a lot of goods, you couldn't take them a good enough distance to do anything. So, and I think that's going to become more prevalent in this because I know David's mentioned the whole idea of if you take goods to a further distance, so they're more rare at those distances, then they're going to be worth more. You're going to want to do that. So the only way you could do that with a big ship would be multiple hops, and you'd have to balance up. It was like, is this going to be worth the fuel going that distance, going those multiple hops to sell it? So, we'll see how that balances out. That's going to be an interesting trade-off, for want of a better term.
Commander Jan mentions the Imperial Courier/Cutter. Then Commander Sloma asks, so the Courier is the cutter for sure. Has the Courier been renamed?
I think so. Don't quote me on it, but I'm pretty sure that's where they're going with it now. But you know what these imps are like. They change their mind like the weather with their fashion and everything. So yeah. But yeah,
No, they
I'm
get
pretty
their
sure it's.
slave to change their mind.
No, yeah, true. Yeah, that's correct. Yay! We have a space station. Look at that. Oh, it's lovely. It's lovely. One thing I have noticed, actually, I don't know if anyone else has noticed it, whether I'm being a complete idiot and I haven't seen it. I don't think there's a key binding for landing gear.
No,
I
there isn't,
yeah,
and that was brought up on the forums,
mm,
and it's a thing between Mike and someone else. I can't remember who.
mm.
And I don't
Sandy
mean
maybe.
Mike Boss. I mean
Mike Evans, isn't it? Yeah.
Mike Evans. Yeah, because this has been discussed on the forums about having a keybind for the landing gear,
Mm.
and one of the Frontier devs, whose name I forget, wants you to do things via the panels rather than keybind everything.
Okay. Well, yeah. I kind of see where you're coming from, because if you've got no reason to go into these panels, you're not going to look at them, and it kind of defeats the
Yeah.
purpose of having them. But at the same time, I'm much in the mind of give people the option. You know, maybe not associate a key binding by default, but at least let them have one if they want it. You know, that's how I would think on that. But there we go.
Well,
Each to their own.
my thinking goes, okay, in the original Elite you didn't have landing gear, so fair enough. We'll forget about that. In Frontier Elite 2 and First Encounters, you had landing gear and it was a keybind. You had the button on the dashboard you could press to put the landing gear up and down, but you also had it on a keybind as well.
Yeah, exactly. You know, the all of the options were there, and I think that's the key thing with a lot of things. Is it's always my go-to argument. I know on the forums, any thread that comes up is options, options, options. But it's true. I mean, you give people the options. You set up defaults. Yeah, by all means, you put in things which. Oops, I'm just going to land here. Bear with me. There we go. Yeah, you give the options, you set up defaults, and maybe you hide things away in menus so, you know, they're not immediately apparent. But yeah, give people the options. Let them do what they want to do. I think that's the key thing there. But, oh, this is nice. I love this. Have you seen in the hangar before Alien, actually?
I have landed a few times.
It's nice. I love just... it's really good. I might take the opportunity to put the Rift on after the break, actually, because with the Rift on, it is absolutely awe-inspiring. You know, you can the sense of scale you get. You're looking straight up, and it's like, a kilometre away you can see ships floating on the ceiling above you. It's really, really surreal, but it really kind of makes you feel it's like, yeah, this is what a real star port would look like, with things going about, machinery and stuff. That's fantastic. They really nailed it, I think.
Yeah.
Love it.
Keep Scrolling asks, are you guys worried we're going to see the same HUD being recycled and used on every ship cockpit? I was expecting the HUD to change on the Cobra. It doesn't really fit aesthetically wise.
Well, I mean, it's a bit more obvious now that I've gone to this view and you've brought up the internal system for the station here, and you can see that HUD's switched completely off, and you can see the design of the cockpit is significantly different. The hollow display and all in the center, is a completely different shape to what it is on the Sidewinder. I kind of like the idea of a standardized interface. It's kind of like everyone uses Windows, everyone uses DeLacy cockpits, it's one of those sort of things. And I think I'd like to see some customization in the final release, like simple things like maybe you pick a color rather than orange. Maybe, I know that's something that a lot of people have talked about. Yeah, I think standardizing the cockpits is going to be the way to go. Really, I think it just works better.
Psychocow asks, how did you get the non-crashing version? Blooming Frontier favoritism, that is, he says.
And as he says that, you wait until you see what just happened on the stream.
Oh no, did I jinx it?
You did. That was so funny. That was so funny. For no apparent... I've had this happen to me a couple of times, actually, but I'm glad I managed to show the Cobra before it happened. For no apparent reason then, that just happened. Is it caught up yet?
Not yet. I blame Psychocow anyway.
It's Cow's fault. It's Cow's fault. I think he was outside the hangar bay shooting at me. I blame him.
Oh, now I've just seen you blow up for no apparent
Just,
reason.
I was just, yeah, you're taking too long to decide what to buy. Boom, get out. Yeah, I've had it happen to me a couple of times, but hey ho. Right, let's go back in.
I'd says the power of the cow.
Jinxed. I'm on server 54 now, so hopefully that helps. I don't know what it means, but hopefully. Ooh, bang. That's right. Yeah, crikey. Yeah, obviously there's some weird things going on. I don't know what happened there. Maybe another player just tried to connect, and they happened to connect right in my hangar. How rude.
Psycho was cranking the crash meter. Keep scrolling says they could easily get away with using the same HUD again on the Viper though. Let it go. It doesn't matter. Who cares?
Well, I like what Petrus has said there. Actually, is what we've seen so far. Wow, he says, we said that the Viper has no window. I think if you look in the concept art, it looks like it has no window, but it has a very, very, very tiny window in an odd position, which wasn't in the same position as the original Viper. I think actually in some of the concept art I've seen anyway.
Well, we haven't seen a recent image of the Viper, have we?
No, it could have changed significantly. No. We have no idea what it looks like at the moment. So, but no, it's. I think they could use the same HUD. I think it works well as it is. It's. Yeah, I know people say they want variation, and that's the point of having the different ships and all. And it's like, well, not entirely. I mean, the main reason I look forward to this ship is the fact it's got 36 cargo spaces. Yes, please.
Now, what I thought about the other day was your last stream. You actually showed someone flying a Cobra firing 4 lasers at once. Right?
Yes.
The original Cobra from the first Elite, which was, let me remind you, a Cobra Mark III, did not have 4 forward-firing lasers.
Yeah. So they've obviously changed that. I mean, you could fire, was it front, back, left and right, wasn't it?
Yeah, it had 4 laser slots, but it didn't have 4 laser slots facing forward.
Yeah, which is a little odd. And I was thinking about this, actually. I was wondering what the justification for that was, and how that's supposed to work. But if I can actually land on a pad, I can show you. Some of the things you can do is the hard points allow you to fit weapons on which have. Oh, there's a sidewinder, and I'm going to squash it. Sorry.
It's a bug.
Yeah. You can fit hard points which have. Oh, pad loitering warning. Yeah, I thought I was just about to squash a sidewinder. You can have hard points which are like the little plasma cannons, which are like turrets which go around in all directions. So, technically you can still have them firing off to the sides. That's still not specifically in keeping with the law, as we all know. But I'm kind of wondering whether or not it kind of makes sense that this is 50 years on from the previous one. The Mark III was already an old design at that time. Why could they not get away with saying, well, yeah, the shape and the chassis and the main shell of the Mark III is exactly as it was. It's the same thing, but modern weapon systems and all have all been retrofitted onto it. So we've got this kind of like hardpoint system which we didn't have before. So I think you can kind of satisfy both things. I think it kind of works in that respect. It's kind of like having an upgrade. It's like, oh yeah, it's the same basic computer case, but now we've got USB 3 ports, so you can kind of fit anything you want on. You know what I mean? Not a good analogy, but it's the best I can come up with.
Yeah. I think Simon came up with a better analogy.
Oh,
he says this is 200 years after the original Elite, which was set in 3100. Look at Cuba. They have 1950s cars, but they've customized them to run on modern fuel and have more seats inside, etc., etc.
Absolutely. There we go. Better explanation. Thank you very much. That's where I was getting at. Yeah. Same basic style. It's like you see like all these hot rods and things like that. It's like it's the same basic shape of the car, and everyone recognises it as that kind of car, but it's been heavily modified and updated over the years with mod cons and various things like that. And that's the way I see it with this. Is, it's not a traditional Cobra Mark III, but it's got all of the modcon bells and whistles on it, sort of thing. I think that works really well, actually, because like I said with the sound design earlier on, you got this kind of idea that the when you put the Cobra up at full speed, it does kind of creak around a little bit, and it sounds a bit past its sell by date, for want of a better way of putting it. But it works really well because that fits in with what we've been told about the current story of the game. 3300s. We've got. Have I got I've got to sell some precious metals. Excellent. With 3300s, all ships are being retrofitted with these fast hyperdrives. So why not do that with every other technology? It's maybe in the last 50 years, all ships have been fitted with these common hard points, so that weapon systems are standardized. Why not?
Yeah.
Oh, I can buy a side.
It's just that. With the Cobra, I wanted the rear-firing laser, and I wanted to be able to fire at enemies chasing me while I'm running away.
Well, I think you can still kind of do this. I mean, I've just kind of flicked down it now, and you'll see this in a second. I don't think I can afford it, which is a shame. Nope, nope, nope. Small missile rack. Nope, I can't see it. I can't see it. There is definitely an option. No, I can't see it on there. Great, that's good. No, I have seen options for weapons which are like little mini turrets, and now effectively you could put that into the other two. And I've just broke the game. Damn. You could put that into the other two slots, because you've got four. Obviously, you have your two front-facing ones, and then these two, the wingtips almost. You could fit a little turret on them, which would gimbal the full 360 degrees, and that would allow you to fire back at ships behind. Not in the traditional sense like you used to be able to do. You wouldn't have control over it, but it would still give you that ability, which would be handy.
Because if you can't look behind you as you're flying forwards, and you can't aim at enemies chasing you, then the only way to do that is to turn around and literally fly backwards with your forward-pointing lasers.
Yeah, which was that whole kind of backward swizzle thing that people were talking about. They didn't really like the idea.
And a lot of people don't like.
Yeah, and that's why I was thinking.
I still say it's no difference to the original Elite in having a rear-facing laser.
No, it bloody works. Don't knock it if it works.
Yeah.
But that's why I'm kind of thinking, like, having these two little turret-facing ones, you can still fly forward, you can still target your main target. If someone comes in behind you, the little turrets can, put them off. Maybe not do enough damage to prevent them from attacking you, but it might be enough to discourage them. Fingers crossed, anyway. But that's my plan.
What you'd want with those wingtip turrets, what you'd want is the combat computer.
Yeah, so they
track and fire
automatically
the
and
enemy
intelligently. Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's probably how most turrets are going to work, to be honest, is most turrets are going to be automated. And there has been talk in the DDF about how crew and things like that work, and there's this idea of automated crew and computers and basically things like that, and the kind of human crew, by human I mean NPC. So there has been a great consideration gone into how that's supposed to work. So hopefully the same will be true for turrets, that you can buy cheap little turrets that do the job, but you could also, in the bigger ships, you can have turrets that you can then assign a person to.
Are they talking in the DDF about having other players manning your turrets?
It's been talked about, but I don't think there's anything specifically confirmed on it yet.
That would have to be very hard to put in the game, surely.
Yeah, the main problem with that is it's all these sort of things like what happens if you disconnect and they want to carry on playing, and it gets really tricky then, and those sort of problems only really come about when we start looking at the EVA expansion, which has been talked about. So they're not a problem yet, but I like the fact that Frontier have actually been considering all this and working it into their plans as it stands currently. So they've been thinking about it, but there's nothing official yet. We'll see what happens with it. I'm going to go to another instance because this keeps bugging out. So let's go to. Let's try and get to the Federal combat one.
Commander Slomus saying, if he remembers rightly, the turret goes into the utility slot, not the gun mount.
Oh, that's why I couldn't see it. Oh, right. Yes, I have seen it.
I don't know if he's right. I haven't got to flying a Cobra yet. So.
Well, I think you have got a utility mount on the Sidewinder. I'm not sure if you can fit a turret on it. Maybe a class 1 of tiny little turret, maybe. I do like the scale of them actually. If you put them in the hard points, you can see the scale of them. They kind of the class 1, 2, and 3. They get progressively just a little bit bigger each time, and it's it's nice to see that progression.
Simon saying, if you crashed your ship and you couldn't afford with insurance, would you take a position on someone else's ship if they made that an option?
Never thought about that. That's kind of like the Roman or imperial style slavery thing, isn't it? It's kind of like buying your way out of poverty. You know, kind of like I'll work my way back to it, sort of thing. I think that was something that was mentioned very early on in the forums about a year ago, actually. That idea of doing something like that. So I mean, it would be interesting, but I think a lot of people would just choose to kind of like restart a new save game or something, wouldn't they? In all fairness, if they, it's like, I'm gonna delete my save file and I'm gonna restart. I know a lot of the RP hardcore fans would want to carry on with that, and I think I'd be interested to see how that could play out. It's kind of like in Skyrim where you end up getting locked up in jail. It's like, I'll try the lockpick. Or is it? No, it wasn't Skyrim, was it? It was the one before. The one before was more. No, you could do it in Skyrim as well. I swear you could. You could get locked up in prison for a while and you had one lockpick as a chance to get out, or you could serve your time.
I heard of someone having that happen to them in Baldur's Gate. But anyway, getting back to something you mentioned earlier, what happens if you're crewing someone's ship and they go offline? I've had a thought about that.
Yeah, go on, yeah.
Say you've got an Anaconda and I'm on your crew, and you decide to go offline, but I want to carry on playing. Basically, I take over command of your ship.
Yeah, why not? Number 1, take the bridge.
Yeah, it's like the captain going to bed.
Yeah.
For example,
I'm going.
the first mate would then take over.
Yeah, no, that makes absolute sense. I mean, I think that'd be quite an interesting way of doing it. I could see doing that with a friend of mine, because he works odd shifts to me. So I think having the ability to just say, you're back from work, are you? It's like, yeah, I'm gonna go to bed now. You carry on and see how far you can get tonight, sort of thing. It'd be an interesting alternative way of playing. I'd like to see that.
It's like taxi drivers sharing the taxi. One of them owns the taxi and works day shift, for example, and someone else who wants the taxi job but doesn't own their own vehicle shares the taxi and does night shift.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you just timeshare. Works really well.
Right, let's catch up on the questions on the
chat.
Oh
yeah, sorry.
Smuggalo, Kerrash, how long do you think before Supercruise and Hyperspace get implemented?
I think we're going to see it in Alpha 4. I think we have to see it in Alpha 4.
That's what Commander Jan says.
Oh yeah, okay, there we go. Thanks, Commander Jan.
Shishakli, question for all. Do we want them to fix the netcode before moving on to Alpha 4?
I would say that would be something which would need continuous tweaks and improvements as features are added to the game. It's one of those things that, even if they got it absolutely spot on right now, and that, they did Alpha 3.x all the way up to however many versions it took to get right, I think inevitably, as soon as they added more features into the game and moved on to Alpha 4, you would probably end up having problems and having to rework bits of that code. So I think the best option is going to be to, yes, put fixes in there if they can be done, but there's other members of the team working on other parts of the game. Might as well, work our way up to Alpha 4, and then, do whatever fixes need to be done to the netcode as we go along.
Simon asks me, with regards to crewing the ship, what happens if I take over command of the ship because you've decided to go to bed, and I crash the ship?
you got a hard job explaining it to the insurance firm. Yeah. I don't know, how would that work? I mean, would you then?
I know how that would work.
Yeah, carry on.
Well, it's your ship, and whilst you're playing, if you were to crash the ship, you pay the insurance out of your character's credit balance. If you go to bed and I take over command of your ship because you're not there, and I crash the ship, I pay the insurance out of my credit balance, or I have to explain to you why you're now flying the free Sidewinder.
Yeah, I was thinking that, yeah. Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense. I mean, I can imagine it would work that way, yeah. It's flying past
Chat
tonight.
has moved. Yeah, chat's. They're talking amongst themselves about the expansions. Flying the candles. Solitary planetary landings will be in future expansion. Yeah, I think we've caught up with the chat.
Planetary landing, yes, I really
Just
want
as I say that, Smuggler asks something. Also, Kerrash, have you noticed the system hierarchy and a galaxy map button?
I did, yes. Have you seen the galaxy map button, Alien?
No, I haven't.
Oh, I'll show you as soon as I get in.
I have an admission. I haven't touched Elite all week. But anyway, no, it's galaxy button. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, so I noticed it last night, actually. I didn't see it straight away, but in the nav panel on the left-hand side, there's a massive, great galaxy map button, and it's greyed out. You can't click it, you can't select it, you can't do it. It's just greyed out. It's like, how much of a tease is that? Terrible. I will flick over to it now so you can see. There it is. Just above all the locations, you've got galaxy map. And it's like, putting it there, that's mean. Very mean.
Dalkeith asks, does anyone know what the suffix part of the version means? Prefix and suffix. Prefix is the first part, suffix is the second part. So he's referring to the O2 in 302.
Yeah, well, there's several different things. I mean, in terms of software, most version control stuff is kind of up to you making it how you want to do it, but there are some basic rules. You've got the Alpha 3 is basically the major release, so from 1, 2 and 3 were huge changes on each other. You've then got 02, which is basically the second incremental update from 3.0.0. Basically, it's a minor revision, a minor change. You've then also got the R22714/R0, which is referring to the exact revision number of the code that the guys are working on in their system right now, and that literally means that at some point they have compiled this version of the game something in the order of 23,000 times. So when people say Frontier aren't doing enough for us, I say ha.
Shishakli asks, did anyone else notice that when Kerrash looked at the left-hand user interface panel that the target hologram gets clipped?
Target hologram. Oh yeah, I see. Yeah. It glitches out slightly. You can see the edge of the just on the very right-hand side. The very edge of the Corolla station is being chopped slightly. Okay, good spot there.
Spotted.
Yeah, good spot on the bug there. I'll have to raise a ticket for that.
Jay Quartzen asks, are we able to comment on the ability to fly an Anaconda as achieved by Commander Blackley?
Can we comment on it? He's a very naughty boy. Yeah, it's not possible. It's not, well, legitimately possible in this version of the alpha.
Yeah.
Commander Blackley has found a way. We'll leave it at that.
Commander Sloma asks, do we know if the galaxy map is going to be unveiled in full in 4.0 or only partially?
I would imagine partially. We don't know, but I don't see that Frontier would be in a position to get absolutely everything out to us right now, and I don't think they would want to, because they're, you know, they're still working a lot of these things anyway. They haven't had a chance to do everything in there, so I imagine we would see a small section of it. They've managed to do it with the scenarios so far that we can't see an entire star system, so I don't think they'll show us the entire galaxy. My best guess for this would be we are probably going to see a couple of systems. I know it's the unfortunate thing to say, but I think what we're going to see is we'll have a couple of systems we can hyperspace to, but those systems will probably be more complete, and we'd be able to go to all of the planets in the system. So I think we might just see the system map rather than the galaxy map, unfortunately. Sorry, guys.
Well, Michael has gone on record as saying they will only have a limited space you can fly to begin with, and then as they progress they will open up further and further and further outwards.
Yeah, that makes sense. I can understand why they're doing that. It's like what they've done with these ones.
He said that way early, back in the Kickstarter. Michael said that.
Right, yeah, and that makes sense. I mean, that fits in with what they've done so far, and it makes absolute sense from what I think is a development point of view, is that, they can tweak and nerf and put limitations in, and I've seen a lot of people make comments about the where's this and where's that and why can't we do this and stuff like that. It's an alpha. They've put artificial restrictions in. They've put these artificial scenarios in for us to test various things. They're not, you're not going to have be able to pick a contested space as a navigation point. You're not going to be able to go to these single-player combat scenarios and that sort of thing in the full game. It's not going to be like that. It's going to be open-ended. You're going to go wherever you want to go, sort of thing. That's kind of the point. So we can kiss goodbye to these scenario restrictions.
Jay Quartzen asks, are you going to attempt to dock backwards at speed? Impressive video of this on YouTube today.
Yes, I must actually give a shout out to Commander, is it Jack Boot Thug? I think, sorry if I've done that wrong. I watched the video today on YouTube. Wow, very impressive. I will say in my defense from my future failure, which is going to happen shortly, he was flying a Sidewinder. I haven't seen this done with a Cobra.
Did he fly through the airlock port from the outside of the space station to the inside?
Yes.
Did he do that bit backwards?
Yes, he flew up to the nav beacon, which I'm going to try and attempt to reenact this in a Cobra. I will add. I will keep stressing, in a Cobra. He did this in a Sidewinder, which I think can fit vertically through the through the airlock bay. He flew at it at speed, flight assist off, and then flew backwards through the opening. Which was very impressive. I'm thoroughly impressed with how he managed to do that. But obviously in the Sidewinder you can quite nicely fit in there sideways. So, I'll try this now. I don't hold much faith for this. I'm going to crash horribly, I know I am, but as soon as I've attempted and failed at this, we'll take a quick break, I think, Alien. Let's give this a go, right? Oh God. Right, I'm going to back up a little bit. Oh dear. Why did the community set me these mean challenges? Why do they keep wanting to see me fail?
Someone, I can't remember who it was, but someone kept saying they were going to try and fly into the space station backwards. And I don't know if it was Jack Boot Thug or not.
Oh, I'm going to crash. Oh, I'm crashing terribly. And it's gone. There we go. And the whole game crashed. It was such a spectacular crash. The entire game crashed. There we go. So I think with that we'll put a quick break in the stream. I'll make another attempt. I will try and do that. That is so incredibly difficult. But yeah, never mind. We'll give that another go. So thank you everyone for watching so far, and we'll see you again in about 5 minutes. So ciao for now, Commanders.